1/6 is multiplying and dividing integers. We're going to add both these operations here together. In order to multiply integers with different signs, the big thing here is when they have different signs. The product of two integers with different signs is negative. Okay, so if they have different signs and you are multiplying, it is a negative outcome. So if you look at example 1, you have different signs. This is positive, that is negative. We get a negative outcome. We get negative 32. Example 2, again, different signs. Positive, negative. We get a negative outcome, negative 18. Example 3, a positive and a negative. We get a negative outcome, which is negative 48. So when you take a positive times a negative or a negative times a positive, when the signs are different, you will have a negative outcome. When you multiply integers with the same sign, so the product meaning answer to multiplication, you have two integers and they have the same sign, you get a positive outcome. So in example 1, both are positive. 8 times 5 is 40. Second example, you're multiplying two negatives. Two negatives, when you multiply, give you a positive. So positive 18. Example 3, two negatives again. Negative 11 times negative 6, it's a positive outcome. We get 66. So when the signs are the same and you multiply, you have a positive outcome. When the signs are different and you multiply, you get a negative outcome. So looking at these next two examples, they have more than two terms, so you need to break it down, follow your order of operations like you normally would. We have 6 times negative 2. Do that operation first. The signs are different, therefore it's a negative outcome, which would give us negative 12. We're going to go ahead and drop down our negative 4. Negative 12 times negative 4. Negative times a negative is a positive. So we get a positive 48. Next example, example 5. Again, we have a positive times a negative. We should get a negative outcome, which would be negative 15. Drop down negative 2. Here we have a negative times a negative as well. Negative times a negative is a positive. We get a positive 30. When you divide integers, it's very similar to multiplication. Obviously different operations, but the reason why it's similar is when you have a quotient here is the answer to division. So that's a good terminology that we need to use. But when you have the two integers, if they have different signs, just like multiplication, it is negative. If they have the same sign, it is positive, just like multiplication. So looking at example 1, before you do your computation, you should be able to determine if it's positive or negative. Signs are different here in example 1. You have a positive 30 and a negative 5. When the signs are different, we have a negative outcome. So we have a negative outcome. 30 divided by negative 5 would give us negative 6. Example 2, looking at the signs. Positive 36 and a negative 6. Signs are different. Negative outcome. We get a negative 6 when we divide. Example 3. Negative 27 divided by negative 9. Signs are the same. They are both negative numbers. When the signs are the same and you divide, you have a positive outcome. So negative 27 divided by negative 9 is a positive 3. This concludes our lesson on multiplying and dividing integers.